From the loyal and supportive to the selfish and downright toxic, these are the most loved and most hated cartoon boyfriends of all time. Some of them were green flags in a world full of chaos, and others were the entire reason their partners needed therapy. Today, we're going back and forth, one loved, one hated, through the best and the absolute worst. And fair warning, at least 3 of these are going to make somebody in the comments genuinely furious. This is Rated Toons, where every character gets a verdict. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the rest of these. Here's the rule. We bounce between loved and hated, one after the other. So the second you think you know who's coming next, we flip it. Let's start with a guy who literally saved the world. We're opening with maybe the most wholesome boyfriend on this entire list, Aang. Here's a kid who carried the weight of the entire world on his shoulders, watched his whole people get wiped out, and still managed to be gentle, patient, and genuinely kind to the girl he loved. That's not easy. Most people would have turned bitter. Aang turned into relationship goals. What makes Aang so beloved is that he never used his power to control Katara. He respected her, he supported her dreams, and he waited. He didn't force anything. And when he was scared of losing her, he communicated instead of manipulating. For a 12-year-old with god-tier powers, Aang had more emotional maturity than half the adults on this list. He's proof that being the strongest guy in the room and being the kindest aren't opposites. And now we swing straight into the fire, Duncan, the self-proclaimed bad boy who somehow convinced 2 different girls he was worth the trouble. Duncan is the walking definition of a red flag with a mohawk. He treats relationships like a game, thrives on drama, and genuinely seems to enjoy watching people fight over him. What tips him into genuinely hated is the whole Gwen and Trent situation. He went after Gwen while she was with Trent, bonded with her over how similar they were, and basically blew up an existing relationship to get what he wanted. And then he was chaos in that relationship too. Some fans call him misunderstood. The rest of us call him exactly what he is, the guy your friend keeps going back to, even though everyone's begged her not to, back to loved. And this one's a fan favorite, Robin, the leader of the Teen Titans, and honestly one of the most devoted boyfriends in cartoon history. When it came to Starfire, Robin was all in. Remember, this is the guy who traveled across the world and fought through an entire army just to get to her. That's not a boyfriend, that's a commitment. What fans love is the slow burn. Robin and Starfire took their time, and the show earned every moment of it. He was protective without being controlling, driven without being cold, and when it finally happened, it felt real. Sure, he could be intense and a little obsessive when it came to Slade, but never towards Starfire. With her, he was steady, loyal, and genuinely sweet. Robin set the standard for the animated leading man. Flip. And here comes the guy who's technically never even had a girlfriend, which honestly says everything. Johnny Bravo. Johnny is what happens when a man loves the mirror more than any human being could ever love him. He hits on every woman he sees, gets rejected by every woman he sees, and somehow never once considers that maybe he's the problem. Here's the thing though, Johnny is supposed to be a parody. He's a walking joke about toxic masculinity and empty vanity, and the show knows it. Every rejection is the punchline. So while he tops a lot of worst boyfriend lists, some fans argue he's actually brilliant because he's such a perfect cautionary tale. Either way, if Johnny Bravo is your relationship blueprint, please seek help. Hoo-wah. Quick pause, halfway point. Drop a comment right now. Who's your most hated so far? I already know half of you typed Duncan before I even finished the sentence. Alright, back in. Loved side. And this one might surprise you because Fry is a certified idiot. But hear me out. Philip J. Fry loves Leela with a sincerity that's honestly kind of beautiful. He's not smart, he's not smooth, and he messes up constantly, but his heart is never in question. This is the guy who literally gave up everything over and over just to make her happy. The most famous example? He once traded away something priceless just to buy her a gift, then went to unimaginable lengths to earn it, and never even told her because he didn't want credit. That's the kind of love Fry has. He's not the sharpest, he's not the strongest, but he'd cross the universe for Leela without a second thought. Fry proves that being a good boyfriend isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up every single time and flip into one of the most toxic partners in all of animation. Peter Griffin. Look, Peter is funny. Nobody's denying that. But as a husband and boyfriend, Peter is a disaster of biblical proportions. He's selfish, careless, and treats Lois more like an obstacle than a partner. Their relationship has been called cartoon comedy's single worst couple. And it's hard to argue. What makes it worse is that early Peter wasn't this bad. There was actual affection there once. But over the seasons, the writers dialed the toxicity up to 11 until Peter and Lois seem to barely tolerate each other. He forgets her, ignores her, endangers the whole family for a laugh, and never learns a thing. Peter's the boyfriend who's fun at the party and a nightmare to actually live with. And on this list, that lands him firmly in the red. Back to loved, and yes, he's chaos, but hear me out, Gumball Watterson. When it comes to Penny, Gumball is genuinely one of the most devoted boyfriends in modern cartoons. He's a 12-year-old disaster who makes terrible decisions about everything, except her. With Penny, he actually tries. What makes it work is that Gumball loves Penny for who she really is. When she finally broke out of her shell and revealed her true form, he didn't flinch. He thought she was amazing in every shape she took. He supports her, he hypes her up, and he'd make an absolute fool of himself just to make her smile. It's messy, it's ridiculous, but it's real. Gumball proves you don't have to be mature to be a good partner. You just have to actually care. Flip. And this one's the boyfriend who thinks he's the good guy, which makes him so much worse. Brian Griffin.